Welcome back to another podcast, man. We are excited. We are ignited, man. Kind of dim, but I got the little vibe tonight. But I have a special guest today, man. I met him when I went to this class at this one here is right here. I met him when I went to this class. Yeah, you good? All right. I met him when I went to this class at U of H. We'll talk a little bit about the class. I think everybody should join the class. This studio is kind of the little vision that we have for the class. So welcome to the class. What's up, Danny?
Hey, man.
How you been?
Good, bro. Good.
How life been treating you?
Can't complain. Honestly, man, blessed big time.
Yes. So what did the so tell us a little bit about your business, what you got going on.
So the UH Shore is what you were referring to earlier.
Yes.
And, it was a really eye-opening experience.
It really was.
Learned a lot of different cool stuff, met some cool people. But the business that I'm involved in, it's actually started by an old friend of mine.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is just kind of taking like kind of what he started and hopefully trying to grow it, exponentially.
Okay.
Right. So we deal with manufactured housing, aka mobile home.
Okay, I got you.
So what we do is it's like your traditional fix and flips are always like stick housing.
I got you.
You buy a house, you put some money into it, you flip it for a profit. The biggest difference for us is, for instance, these are mobile homes.
Okay.
So we're not bound by the same comps. That's just like location.
I got you.
I can yank a house out of anywhere.
So you basically you have a chance to move the houses around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So these mobile homes or these manufactured homes, what's usually the cost on them though?
It'll vary. I mean, we can buy something as little as like $5,000, and sometimes, I think the most that I know we've acquired a house for is like maybe 75 or so.
Okay.
It just depends on the quality of the house, what we have to do to it, and then we reverse engineer it, right? So we know what we can sell the house for when it's all ready to go.
I got you.
And we just kind of like make our margins and making sure everything's going to work out.
I got you.
Depending on how much work you got to put into it.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think people need to kind of know because I think one thing, people are always looking for homes though. They're always looking somewhere to stay, whether it's an apartment, whether it's a house, whether it don't matter. They looking, so you never gonna run out of potential clients. So I want to talk a little bit about this Sure program at U of H. I mean, I thought it was an amazing program, very structured. They made you listen. So.
The guests that we had were amazing.
Was amazing guests, man.
And everything, yeah.
So how would you encourage people why they should go to the Sure program? First of all, I would say because it's free. Second thing I would say is you better be dedicated because if you miss more than 1 or 2 classes, they might can give you the boot.
Sure. I mean, technically, you don't have any upfront cost, but I mean, honestly, to me, it wasn't free because you do have to put a lot of time into it. You had to get out there physically. They weren't just going to like allow you to listen to a bunch of recorded stuff, right?
Yes.
And just like the knowledge and the information that you got from the instructors, the investors,
that's true.
You even had like your own guy that was working on their MBA, like really direct.
That was assigned to you.
And everything was really, really like well structured, like you mentioned. I would say do some research on it. Talk to some alumni.
Yes.
Just let what did we gain from it, and then it might be something that'd be really helpful for.
Yeah, because I mean, and then like you said, when I say free, the first thing people say, well, do I gotta pay to go? That's the first thing they would say. My thing is, of course, your time, and then you have to drive there. You have to. The beautiful thing was too, I was kind of shocked though at the end when they actually gave you money back. That was pretty interesting. So I was like, wow, So I see you online. You got your family. You just went to Disney World?
Yeah, man. So
how was that experience?
So Umbo gives you a week off. Right now we're technically on spring break.
Yes.
Spring break.
Yes.
Umbo has one in February. And it was fantastic. It was our first time going. I got an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Okay.
They were ecstatic. They just took it all in, and they just had a blast. They still can't stop talking.
Oh man, I already know it's a big park too. Which one y'all went to?
We ended up going to Hollywood Studios.
Okay. Because there's multiple parks.
Yeah. Kingdom and Magic Kingdom.
Oh wow.
So, and we stayed on the resort there, so it was just something we could just do really quickly. We had to and stuff like that. So
yeah. So what are some lessons in life that you would say when it comes to your business that you can be able to like teach people? Like, what's some of the lessons, some of the principles, just trying to be successful with like starting a business? Like, what's some of the principles you can tell people?
I think it starts with the individual. Like, to me, what are your core values?
That's good.
There are a lot of cliches, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, I believe in this and this." Okay, do you really? Because like eventually you're about to put your money and your time into it.
Yes.
So you better really be dedicated to that. Me, it's always been about a certain sense of like professionalism, diligence, and the way that I present myself.
I got
A
you.
lot of people can have a negative connotation with mobile homes.
They do.
When I started investing with my buddy, I was like, look, I don't care what the stigmas and all these negative are for. I'm coming into like this thing. I'm gonna have to do things the way I feel it should be, because I have to represent myself whenever.
There you go.
So I would say that just what exactly do you believe in, core values, and just follow that. Let that be your guiding light.
Yes, and I think people need to know that, because I think a lot of times I tell people, some people are playmakers, some people are trailblazers. Like, the difference is, a playmaker is somebody who can follow a play that's been told to them and be successful. A trailblazer is somebody like me. I'm gonna go my own way. I'm not even gonna follow no play. I'm just gonna go my own way, and and whatever happens, happens. But that's a dangerous way though, because you're gonna hit a lot of bumps in the road. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody already made the play in another direction, it's easier for you to do.
I mean, that's exactly like the situation I'm in. If I had to do all this stuff from scratch, because my buddy, he's been in this for 20 years.
Oh wow!
He's the trouble.
Okay.
He tells me all about like how things work, this and all the mistakes and all the time and money and all these things, and I really appreciate him.
I like that.
Initially it was just more of like a situation where I thought, okay, I'm just going to learn a little bit. I'll probably be like a solid investor for him. Because my intentions, honestly, I was laid off during COVID.
Oh, okay.
I had 15 years in the oil field.
Okay.
My bread and butter, my background is oil and gas.
I got you.
I'm an engineer, even from like from my background.
Come on.
So my thought was like, hey, this would be a good opportunity for me as an investment. The more I started researching and the more I got into it, I was like, there's so much opportunity here.
Oh wow.
That's another thing. Whoever wants to go out and do something, seize the opportunity.
Say that again.
If you see something that you think to yourself, what? I can make something out of this.
That's true.
Don't hesitate. Don't fall into the trap of like status quo and all that sort of thing. You can do something. That's always been my driving force.
Yes, honestly. And I think I think people kind of need to hear that, because I think so many people run into the thing of like, as my mind as an entrepreneur, a lot of people second guess ourselves. We get in our own way. We like, man, I don't know. It's like we always, let's see. And then we go into doing our research. And for some reason, when we do research, first thing pop up is negative information. And that negative information, like, well, they said they. But I'm like, when the people say they said, I'm like, who is they? Have you experienced it? And having your guy for 20 years, that gives you the courage to be like, oh, they've been doing it for so long. And I think people need to understand the importance of a mentor. What you think about that?
There you go. And a mentor can take the shape of all kinds of different, it doesn't have to be like some billionaire you aspire to be. It doesn't have to be somebody that has a bunch of cars and houses and stuff like that. It can be somebody just like has a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. Somebody that can help you like network. For instance, somebody that can help you with something that you're lacking. Maybe you're lacking presentation skills.
That's true.
Somebody that can help you. Hey, how do I prepare for an interview?
Yes.
It can be any amount of knowledge that
I like
they
that
can bring to the table for you. You take that information, now you make it. Now you apply it to whatever it is that you're going to do.
And I think a lot of people need to really know that, man, because I tell people, having a mentor is like, it's like driving to Dallas without a GPS. So I'm just explaining, like, if somebody gave me an address in Dallas, I'm not trying to drive over there, and I ain't got no GPS, how am I gonna find them? So I'm gonna drive to Dallas. First thing I'm gonna do is stop to the store. Ask somebody that might not know nothing. They might not even know. They might even live in Dallas but don't know nothing. Sure. So that's the same when it comes to like being successful. It's like we go around asking people that don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. It's like, man, find you somebody who can lead you. Or like I said, or you can be a trailblazer. Trailblazer is tough. It's super tough though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna backtrack on the share program. what I like about it too, and tell me that's what you like. I like the part that they made us do a whole business plan. So how much did that help you?
It really helps you to kind of like for two reasons. I got it. I took the program right on time. Like I said, I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I saw something. And they put metrics behind it.
Ooh, come on.
They put it in perspective as far as like, okay, you know, there's something there. This is how you kind of put it together.
Yes.
So a little bit was deconstructing the things that we were already doing. Maybe enhancing some workflows.
Yes.
Streamlining some processes and going accounting. Come on, man. We spent like
yes.
Because it is true. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
That's man.
Because you really have to get to the point. Hey, we all love what we do, and that's cool.
Yes.
But if it doesn't pay the bills and you can't see anything you can scale from, then you probably, you know, it's gonna be short lived. It's just gonna be something you're gonna do on the weekend.
You know what? You said scale, because I tell people don't start if you can't scale. It's important. So people's like, well, I'm gonna start this business, but hold on. Well, we start. Can you scale it? You know what I'm saying? So many people like, man, it's like I'm gonna start this business. I'm gonna put $20,000 behind it. I'm like, hey, do you understand? Like you said, the metrics, what's going into marketing, what's going into, you know, the cost of everything, and that's very important. And I like the fact too that they brought in different people, and then again they allowed you to have, you know, one person that was connected to you.
They really broke it down from a sense of, okay, so you got marketing, you got advertising, you have, you know, your capital. They even told you, hey, at some point you will, you know, need some funding.
Yes.
When we started preparing our pitches,
yes,
we started talking to like the guys that were running the bankers, all those guys, right? So they kind of give you like a rough draft.
I love it.
What everything can be, you know, depending on what it is.
Yeah, and I want the viewers to know, like, it's important that you have all these things that's laid out. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask you a little bit about your why. You know, why you do what you do.
I'm going to depth now, man. We talked about it for a second. I mean, honestly, man, like my wife and my kids really are the biggest motivating factors for everything.
Come on.
Because, you know, we have good days, we have bad days. Of
course.
We're motivated, not so motivated some other times, but you have some else. You have some people that look up to you.
Come on.
Every single day, I'm trying to motivate them to be the best version of themselves.
That's good.
How can I look them in the eye, ask them for something that I'm not willing to do myself?
Oh man, you know, people need to hear that.
So there's a certain amount of accountability that I see when I look at my daughters. That I see every time I have that conversation with my wife. So
that's good.
And I'm just like, look, if I want the best for them, I have to be the best version of me so they can get that, and we can all be fruitful.
And I think people need to know that, like, be the best version of yourself. You know, me and my wife's motto is, we hear people say, man, I'm this relationship is 100%. And I said, me and my wife's relationship is 200%. Because she bringing in 100, I'm bringing in 100. You know what I'm saying? So the day when she only bringing in 60, I may be bringing in 90. You know, the whole premise of, we want to make sure we always over 100%. So if she only bringing in 50 and I'm bringing in 50, we still at 100. You know, so I think that's the mindset when it comes to, you know, to everything. So the mobile home community, or what you see, how demand. First of all, let me ask you a question, because I want to kind of go on this question. You see property. Do y'all look for property first? Or do y'all build communities? I mean, like, what's that whole mindset of that?
So there's a couple different core, you know, options as far as like what we're concerned. So like I said, my friend's like built a network of people that he reaches out to. That's honestly like the genesis of everything. That's where we start off. We do reach out to public to like say, hey, can I buy your house? You know, give them, you know, an honest bid. But there's a lot of coordinating as far as like the moves and the repairs and all that sort of things. So you got to have all your ducks in a row. Make sure you're ready to move on that front. But it's really just being diligent with every deal. Like,
that's good.
If you just say, hey, pipe dream, I'm gonna do this and do this, and you don't actually put it in action.
I got you.
It's just all in your head, right?
Yeah.
So, for us, it's just a matter of like, hey, you know, we see an opportunity, we're going to take advantage of it.
I love that.
Move it along, and then let's get it going.
So, a mobile home, a trailer home, same thing.
You know,
that's
to me. You know what's so funny? There was a HUD, urban, what do they call it? Housing development. that took place back in 1976.
Okay.
There hasn't been a mobile home manufactured in 1976.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Everything is technically considered a manufactured house.
Okay, I got you.
Right? But we all know it as mobile homes or a trailer because of like the
trailer parks
and stuff like that.
I got you.
Technically, they're all manufactured houses, right? So there's agencies, there's licensing, there's
I got you.
There's a bunch of stuff going on with it.
Because I think we was driving a Conroe. Me and my wife was driving a Conroe. I was going to a party off the lake, and we seen a whole mobile home community. I was like, that's crazy. They had a pool in the front, they had a washateer, and then they had a whole bunch of houses. I was like, wow, like, man, what? I mean, who thought about that?
That's a whole community.
That's a whole community.
So do you consider that a trailer park?
I wouldn't.
No?
I wouldn't, but I mean,
so, on people's jargon, man. So that's what the old trailer park used to be. Like I said, for me, like I'm focusing on something.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a different conversation.
So
and it's a good investment opportunity also.
So the build out on them. So how's the build out? Like, is it? It seems a little complex, but it seems simple too at the same time. So like the build out and the anchor of them, like how long do they usually last though?
I mean, shoot, it's like how long will your car last?
That's true.
You change the oil, you can maintain it properly. It lasts you as long as you
I got you.
You know, you peel it out, doing donuts and you're not
I got you.
Properly, then it's gonna last you not very long. To me, there are different levels, just like there are vehicle manufacturers. There's a ton of different companies that do. And they have different like levels. There's a really high end model. I walk in one of the houses that we just sold. As soon as you step inside, there's no way you're gonna think it's a mobile home.
Oh wow!
It's gonna be full, granite countertops and crown molding everywhere. And they're built. Some of these structures are actually built to look like houses.
I love it.
So one of the things it's always kind of like the calling card with mobile homes. They're open because they're on a frame.
I like it.
Axles and tires and stuff like that. Once you skirt it, once you finish it off on the bottom and everything looks really nice, there's some of these houses you can't even tell it's a mobile.
Oh wow! And that's why I said too though, like, so once they come off, because they do come off the wheels, huh? Once they come off the wheels and you mount them.
Yeah, so you usually mount them on cinder blocks, and they are tied down. And there's an anchoring system that you do.
I got you.
You're closer you out to the coast, you got to be a little more careful.
That wind.
The wind zone 2s and
okay.
They stand those higher, strong winds. And we do plenty of those also.
So a beach house, is that considered? Because
those are on stilts, so that's just a beach house, right?
It's just a beach house, okay? Because some of them to me look like I was like mobile homes too. Right. When you look at some of them, you like. Like, okay, how they doing this?
I'm sure it's a whole different deal.
A whole nother.
and you have to have a solid foundation.
Yes.
Because I've rented some of those, and we go and drive in, and we're parking underneath it.
And you looking.
Like, they have to know what they're doing, right?
Yes.
To still be
yes.
Like right there, taking the brunt of all of that.
So do you see the mobile home community building in the next 10 to 20 years?
Here's the thing, man. Like the more I'm seeing, there's a lot of counties that are putting clamps on it, right?
Okay.
They're making it a little more difficult. For instance, you and I, hey, let's go buy 20 acres down the way.
Okay.
Let's build ourselves a community. So many licensing.
Oh wow.
They basically have to let you do it. So what a lot of people do is take an older mobile home park and kind of bring it all back to snuff.
Okay.
So some of my customers are actually like, they inherited their parts from their parents.
I like.
A bunch of their houses are like 60s, 70s models. We're taking those out and we're bringing the new ones in.
Okay. So the 60 and 70 models versus the 2023, what's the difference?
Oh man, just like the materials that are used. Obviously, think about all the wear and tear.
Okay.
That's on them. For instance, we have our houses. We gotta change them.
That's true.
We gotta do plumbing.
Yeah, that's true.
And then depending on what the wife's preferences are, how often are you painting?
That's true.
Stuff like that.
Yes, so
it's all the basic maintenance and stuff like that. So to me, now we have had some houses that are 34 years old.
Oh wow!
And they're solid.
It's because of the owners, though, pretty much. Yeah, I have to say it has to be the owners because I know how you take care of your house. I tell people if I walk in your house and I look at your house, it'll tell me what you're doing with your life. You know what I'm saying? That's important because like real big on like focusing on like like me and my wife, we like gotta keep this clean, click that. Like we really like want to make sure everything is. You never know who's gonna stop by, stuff like that.
Understood, for sure.
So one thing I'm looking at because I'm trying to get into your mind because I understand where you're going. But I want other people to know, like, why would they pick a mobile home over a regular home?
There's a couple different reasons.
Okay.
There are a little more lenient when it comes to the financing options for a mobile home. For instance, you don't need to have the perfect credit.
Okay.
They allow just a little bit lower of a down payment. Things like that. So let's say you're going through a situation where you're changing jobs, you're not making as much as you used to.
Gotcha.
Some people are having like a situation where hey, they're separating, they're bankruptcy, whatever. There's usually a situation where it's like you want to know what your options are, right? So to me, it's still considered affordable housing. Price per square foot on any mobile home, no matter where I put it, it's going to always be better than any stick house, just because of like the foundation of a mobile home. So the manufactured housing aspect of it also. If you're somebody that's looking for a second or a third home, or a vacation home, an investment home, for instance, are you going to build a house and it's going to cost you whatever it is, and then COVID taught us whenever we close on the house, if price of materials and supply chain screws us up, all of a sudden what we agreed to at closing isn't actually what it's going to be, because
that's true.
The price of lumber and everything's going up, right? So this is already a it's completely done.
So what usually the terms that people do on that? Do they do 15 or 30? They still do the same?
The majority of the ones that I've seen, anywhere between 20 and 30 years.
Okay.
Interest rate will fluctuate depending on your credit, obviously. If you have a decent job, you can get, I've had a guy qualify with like 2% down. Something like that. It just really depends on your
because I mean, I think people a lot of people just would like to know, man, because again, people are always looking, but it's like, if I can go into a mobile home versus living into an apartment for 20 years, why wouldn't I do that?
Own your own property?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's just me, the whole mindset. Some of the guys using the SHIRT program, you still talk to them?
Man, I've tried to text them, keep it saying everybody just kind of like does the thing after they're gone, man. It's just like, I tried for a little bit, and then I haven't really. And there is either an Instagram or a Facebook group.
Okay.
And I check in on them every now and again. They're not very active. That's one of the things I asked, because some guy, I don't know if has anybody reached out to you about like the new class, and they were trying to do like some interviews and stuff like that. Did you get that email?
Yes, my wife got it. Yes.
Okay, so that guy called me.
Okay.
He's the new guy taking over a group. And I asked him, hey, talk to Charlie and let them know, a little more engagement. With alumni. Now you have like 6-7 classes.
Yes.
That have graduated from the program.
Yes.
Obviously a ton of entrepreneurs, hardworking guys. Imagine, hey man, let's set up a happy hour. Let's all network.
Yes.
Let's all get together and talk about, what we've been doing, some of the lessons that we learned that we actually implemented into our businesses.
Well, you see what we implemented. You see,
you got it going on, bro.
You got
it going on.
Hey, we was in our house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so we like, man, we rolled that thing out with something. We're like, boom, boom, boom. We're like, we can go on the small, even though the bigger scale is 10,000 square feet, but we're gonna get this 1,100, and then we'll move to the next level.
You already have that. You have pipeline going. You already have all the preparations.
Right? Yes.
This is the application that I'm talking about right here, man.
It's applying it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I think because people say knowledge is power, I say no. The application of knowledge is the power. That's what we missing. Because you can have knowledge, but you're not applying it. You just got knowledge. So knowledge ain't power. Stop telling yourself knowledge is power. How you apply the knowledge that you get gives you the power. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, and so that's why I'm really like Zoom. I said I wanted to invite you on because I knew you guys were doing some stuff. I was like, man, I want to kind of pick his mind and see where he at, kind of showing where I'm at a little bit on how I'm building, what me and my wife is really building out for the long haul though. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, what's the difference between a job and an entrepreneur?
Oh man, the entrepreneur thing, I'm still trying to define it, because I mean I've been at it for going on 2 years now. Okay. And definitely, and I have to admit, it's definitely longer than I anticipated. Okay. It was like 6 months. It was, I was doing this thing, but I was still interviewing. I was still looking. Okay. My mindset was different, man. My mindset was in the corporate world. I always saw myself, doing all that stuff. That's all I really had about. Now that I'm enthralled in this thing, and I'm seeing all the possibilities. So the biggest thing for me is just really seeing the fruits of my labor. Making the decisions that I know for me, with a business partner, and with what we're doing, It's definitely like he and I have a difference of opinions on certain things.
Of course, that comes with it.
But it's like a yin yang, man. Like he knows his strengths, he knows my strengths, and then we respect that. And at the end of the day, as long as like we're both enjoying what we're doing,
yes,
we see the growth. I see this scaling to a point that it's like we're gonna want more people.
Of course, that's what the whole thing is all about at the end of the day. Because one thing I tell people, like my business partner is my wife. And so it's like, y'all work together every day. We work together every day. But some things she's great at, some things I'm great at. But she allow me to be me. I allow her to be her, and we come together and we build this multi-million-dollar empire out. And a lot of people, they tend to be like, man, I bet that's hard to do. I'm like, it's not really hard to do. Not when you understand that it's two of you and y'all working together. You know what I'm saying? That's the most powerful thing. So have you been scared? Entrepreneurship? I mean,
no. And that's the weird part. Again, it's just like now that I'm saying, okay, I understand. It's very interesting. And maybe it's on the individual, right? Because
okay.
What I've seen and what I've learned is all of the lessons and all the training and all the stuff that I used to do in the corporate world for a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Come on.
All those things, I can apply for my itty little business that I have over here on the side, man. It's crazy, man.
Yes,
it's crazy.
Yes.
I'm doing a bunch of paperwork and spreadsheets and workflows and all these different things that I used to do, like project management stuff for a big company. And honestly, a lot of it wasn't even my projects; it was just projects that were handed to me.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I didn't even see the fruit of my labor because in corporate America, you just do your little thing and then
that's it.
Everybody else makes the decision. And as soon as your budget's up, right? So
that's some lessons that I think people need to know. Like, because first thing people say is, "Okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, but I'm going to make money." It's like we already start talking ourselves out our dreams. It's like but if you put that same effort that you do for somebody else for yourself, what happens if you get better results? And I think a lot of people be afraid because that's why I like to ask that question. Was you afraid when you got into it? Stuff like that. But I think what's not making you that afraid is the person you attached to, the mentor. You know what I'm saying? I think people need to understand that when you attach to somebody that's already doing it, it's like, okay, what I need to do, and then you start following, you start implementing your own, your own plan and stuff like that. So
and it's also important to make some really good financial decisions, right?
So
thankfully we had done that. My wife and I had done that up until that point.
Okay.
Let's say I fall flat on my face the first year and a half that I'm doing this. Okay, my family's gonna be fed. They're gonna have a roof over their head. I didn't have to compromise anything for me to follow my dreams.
I got you. Yeah.
So I would advise people, you want to go try
something. Tell them.
Look, have yourself a solid foundation. I'm not saying wait 20, 30 years to follow your dream. I'm just saying like, hey, look, understand what expenses are, understand what your budget is.
Yes.
Because for instance, if people start, okay, well, I want to be this, so I need to go give me this car and this suit and the jewelry. So
trying to look the part, but I ain't the part.
What are they going to be a few months down the road? It's just like, that's not what it is. And so I think a certain level of maturity, a certain level of understanding of what you're getting into, and you asked it, your why. I mean, shoot, that's
your why. I tell people the acronym for why is what's hurting you. You know what I'm saying? That's the acronym, because what's hurting you is what's going to push you to be great. And when you understand, like you want to look into your kids' eyes, your wife's eyes, you're like, that's your why. That's the thing that make you say, man, I gotta push forward no matter what. Even though I'm having a bad day, you ain't gonna see it because I'm pushing forward. I'm not gonna let them see it because I'm pushing forward. And I think a lot of times we and me and my wife had this conversation the other day. Is it more pressure on men or is it more pressure on women? You know what I'm saying? That's a good one. Is it more pressure on men? Is it more pressure on women?
What did you say?
I said it's more pressure on men.
Yeah.
Because people never go, and if something happened with the house or something happened with your life, they never say, they always say, man, what you was doing? As the man,
you can't provide. Your wife, what's wrong with you?
Yes. But my wife, she made a good point. She said that there's a lot of alpha women, they want to carry the weight too. They want to, like my wife said, if you fall, I got us. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, hey, that's a good trait too, Then you do got some women that's like, and they just sitting at home Feeling ain't fingers. And if you fall, the whole empire fall. So I think it's for men, it's just a lot of pressure on men, because it's like you got to provide, you got to protect. They never asked a woman to provide and protect. No, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
It's a slippery slope.
Right. And within context, though, obviously, like me, I mean, your wife's awesome. My wife, man, she does so.
Oh yeah.
My God, man. Without her sacrifices and what she does,
come on,
I wouldn't have an opportunity to
say that.
Most of the things that I do.
Say that.
So she's a gangster. She's the one that's like making sure that everything's in order, because without that, my whole world is chaos. Honestly, and again, you talk about your psyche and everything that you're talking about. No, man, like you need all these things. So what sucks about that to me, and I have two daughters, so I'm gonna have to put them through this process of what American society and everything is, right? So
yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to explain to them, look, you are intelligent, you're beautiful, and you're all these things, and you can be all these things at the same time. And so in my estimation, or the way that I think about things, it's just like, look, whatever, go back to the status quo or the traditional things. Awesome.
Yes.
I feel like I'm a traditional guy, but my daughter needs to understand, hey, look, sky's the limit for you, baby.
Yes.
Mom and daddy can make, do all the things in order for you to be able to do whatever it is that you are supposed to do.
That's facts. And I think with that, we gotta because we in a society of where people feel like it's like women versus men. Masculinity. What's it called? Masculinity versus feminism. It's like a fight right now. It's like it's like I can hold my own, but you don't need to hold your own.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like a big fight in the community when it comes to understanding hey, it's okay to be feminine. It's okay to be the man. It's okay, let the man be the man. And a lot of times, I think we fight against that. Another thing I said, so if I had to ask you to ask your 13-year-old self, what would you tell your 13-year-old self right now so that today your life would look different?
13. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. 13. What was that? Like 8th grade?
What would you tell yourself?
To be better.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. So your life can be better today.
That all the hard work and everything, because I think at the time I was really second guessing myself.
Okay.
Because of everything that my parents had taught me. I was like, is this all I'm gonna do the rest of my life?
Yeah.
I had a lot of questions like that.
Okay, I got you.
Some uncertainty. So to me, trust yourself, believe in yourself. All these things that you're doing, even the stuff that sucks, they'll be the fundamental, the foundational aspects of who you become.
Somebody need to hear that.
It took me a long time, man, because in my 20s, for instance, I was this rebellious guy, and me, I'm chill now.
Yeah.
I decided, I'm gonna.
What the hell I want to do?
Exactly. It took me a lot of struggle, a lot of wasting time in order for me to say, man, this is my path. This is what I'm supposed to be.
That's good.
This is where my focus should be, and so it's just something along those lines of saying hey, everything that you're doing, it has a reason.
Yes.
Don't look for that instant gratification all the time. There's going to be things that you're going to struggle through, but they're the building blocks of what you're going to be.
I think people need to hear that, because a lot of times we get into this thing of man, my mistakes is my mistakes. I'm like, yeah, your mistakes are lessons. You know what I'm saying? I tell people we don't take losses, we take lessons. All right. So your mistakes are lessons, but at the same time, you personally have to tell yourself hey, I could have did better. So legacy. I love talking about legacy. You got a tombstone this big. It's about this high. We can leave 3 things in there. We're gonna put it in the ground on your way out. You about to die on your way out. Nobody want to talk about that, but I'm just saying everybody gonna die. So we want to put 3 things in there for people to remember you, because we're going to pull it out the ground 1,000 years later. What 3 things would you want to put in there?
I would say love your friends and family. Give yourself some grace and understand that your mistakes, man.
Yes.
Your lessons,
yes.
Be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And know that you, even in those, I don't know how to word this part of it, but
Yeah.
like, even when you don't feel like it, the legacy is what you're doing, because that's your life. Those are your days.
Yes.
You know, those are your years that you were actually on this earth.
Yes.
You know, what I've noticed, or what I've realized over time, is like, sometimes I don't even know who's listening. I don't even know who.
Ooh, you don't know, but they are.
But then, you know what? Appreciate this thing.
They are.
And it's just like, wow, make an impact even when you don't think you.
Yes, and that's why I learned about like doing these podcasts. It's like we can go back 10 years, 20 years and be like, man, that's how you was thinking. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? And now you can see the progress, you know. So if you, and I like, and I really love the fact that, you know, you answer the question, but you didn't answer the question. So let me explain. 3 things I would leave in this thing would be a video of me. I will leave a letter to the people so they can know how I was thinking. I probably will leave my book. So what are 3 intangible things you will leave in there? So when we pull it out the ground, we can say, man, this is who Danny was. Okay. Picture of your family. I mean, what are 3 intangible things?
My U of H shirt.
Okay, at UH? Okay.
We're about to take this tournament in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I get number 1 seed, huh?
Yeah, I got number 1
seed.
Okay. Let me see. You know, it's me. Okay. I'm wired, man. I can't think of anything material that would encompass 1,000 years from now. Oh, this is who that guy was. Okay. You know, most of the things that I think of and I value, they're intangible. I got you. Their experiences, their feelings. I got you. They're how do you remember me from a psychological aspect? Not what I wore or drove, or you know. Yeah. I can't think of anything physical that I say, hey, you know what? That's who I represented while I was on.
Yeah, and that's cool, because like I said, the reason why I like to ask that question is like because I want people to put their mind on like what am I doing today? Because to me, I believe legacy is greater than currency. That's my mindset. My mindset is legacy is greater than currency. So what you doing every day, who you impacting, things of that nature, that's what's helping you get to the next level. One of my main goals, because I teach branding, I teach entrepreneurship and all that, is to help 100 people become millionaires. You know, that's one of my personal goals. That's a personal goal. It's not something, and it's selfish for me because I want to see other people come up. You know what I'm saying? I want to see other people live their purpose. I want to pull them to greatness. You know, and I think the problem is we as humans get so locked into like working, and we get so locked into like this is my life and this is what I have to do. We never really stop and say, who have you helped? You know what I'm saying? You know, I tell people HOPE, hope, stands for help other people excel. If you help enough people get what they want out of life, you're gonna get what you want out of life. And I think people tend to forget that part. We tend to we get in our own zone. Like I'm living comfortable. My house feel good. My wife happy. My kids happy. And we never stop and think and say, damn, who have I helped? For instance, there was a young lady reached out to my wife and she said, you know, can you guys help me pay my light bill? I told my wife, yeah, we can help her, but tell her to send us the light bill and we'll pay the light bill. I'm not gonna send you money. Little things like that. It's not always about the big things. But she had like 5 kids and she said she asked people and nobody wanted to help. And so I told my wife, let's sow a seed. This is what this is about. You got thousands of dollars sitting around. I'm not saying just give it away, but you can help somebody in a time of need.
You know, it's crazy, like in our society and a lot of people, like the way things go nowadays, you know, it's hard for us to empathize, you know, to put ourselves in other people's
That's true.
Because you don't know what kind of impact, not just on that one bill, but just like exponent, like what happens after.
Yes.
Wow, man, like I was really down. I was really in a bad time. You know, a gesture like that. I think about like, you know, every time I'm at a store, I'm open.
Yes.
A quick little smile. That might have been the only person that smiled at her all day long.
Yes.
You know, I see all this road rage on the road.
Oh man, it'd be crazy.
Like, you know, it's just like, hey, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you can have it.
Take my lane, man.
You can have it.
Do that. You know, I don't know what kind of, because I think about it like this. Like, I don't know what's going on in that person's life.
That's true.
I don't know. You know, the situations that they may be going through. Like, what's it to me? For instance, you know, if I can't pay your light bill or I can't give you money, but I can give you some decency.
Yes.
You know? And just a little bit of love. Just let's say, hey, you know what? I hope your day.
And I think that's what people, that's the whole premise of what we're doing as humans. You know, we're here to help. We're here to, you know, and I know you can't help everybody. I tell my wife, my wife, she sees somebody walking, she like, man, we need to buy them a car. We need to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you can't help everybody. Let's get to know their story first.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
we don't really know their story, you know. But I'm just saying, I mean, it's like it's man, it's just, I don't know. Like you said, it's the empathy, it's the giving back. It's important that we as humans, we be the person, like you said earlier, you don't know who we impacting. It's a lot of people I'm impacting. People would send me messages and be like, man, keep going. Man, everybody's people like, man, the guy Danny you had on the podcast, I learned, you know what I'm saying? Like they be happy to hear somebody's story, to hear like, man. So let's talk a little bit about coming up, your bringing. How was your bringing versus your kids' bringing?
Oh, way different. Way different. For instance, I'm a first generation American. So my parents migrated here, didn't know the language.
Oh, wow.
The culture. You know, they had a couple relatives, a couple friends, but they just like completely different world.
Oh, wow.
They were professionals back at home. You know, they were college graduates. They were, to them as adults, they would have probably had an easier way about it, but they figured, you know what, let me make these sacrifices. Maybe my kids will be a little better. So I never lose sight of the fact that, you know, I don't ever want them to think that the sacrifices they made were in vain.
Oh, that's good.
Because they gave me an opportunity.
I got you.
Know, for me to do. So, but I mean, besides that, I mean, low income household, didn't have a lot of stuff.
I've been there.
You know, just very modest, you know, upbringing, humble beginnings. But again, I was rich in work ethic.
Yes.
And my father's a minister.
Come on.
My mother's a teacher. So you can imagine the discipline.
And super discipline.
Right. so yes sir, no ma'am.
Yes.
You know, and you were gonna like go to bed on time. Your chores. So I learned all that. Those are fundamental things.
So how you bringing that to your kids?
So same thing. So they're. And it's kind of interesting, man, because you know, they have more stuff,
yes,
and more things, and more experiences. We just talked about Disney. I never went to Disney. You know, I never had, you know, a lunch with Winnie the Pooh.
Come on.
but what I see in their eyes, they don't take anything for granted.
I got you.
That's
good.
They're grateful for everything they have. They're good stewards of who they are and what they are. And what's important to me, for instance, is look. You didn't really earn any of this. You know, you were given a lot of this, right?
I got you.
So what I expect from you is appreciate what you have.
Yes.
Be helpful, be humble wherever you can be. Work hard.
That's true.
Because I will be, you know, diligent when it comes to making sure you're doing your homework that you have to do, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's a lot of that. I make sure that I tell them I love them every single day.
Come on.
And they know that mommy and daddy are the number one fans.
Come on.
I'm not going to always tell them what they want to hear.
That's true.
You know, I'm going to tell them some things that, you know, might not, again, back to the 13-year-old and but now, there's certain things that you don't understand right now.
Yes.
I'm not expecting you to.
Yes.
But they're going to be fundamental for you, like after you get to wherever it is that you're going to be and what you're going to do.
That's good though, because I think that becomes the hard part, is that we have more now,
a lot more,
and complain more. Back then, when I look at my grandmother's house and they raised 6 kids in a 3-bedroom house, that means there was 3 kids in each room. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 3 girls, 3 boys. It's just a different dynamic. But and also, you said something that was key. Is I tell people, be humble and be hardworking. If you can do that, God gonna do everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because once you learn how to humble yourself and you learn how to respect people, that's when your growth, that's when your blessings, that's when everything comes. But the problem is, it's a fine line between being humble. Let me say this: confidence and cocky. Okay, it's a fine line, because you do need some cockiness to be great. You know, but you gotta kind of mix humbleness in there. You know, I mean, like Kobe Bryant was cocky, but at the same time, if you notice when he passed away, you seen a lot of his stories. You start seeing some of the speeches he was saying. Guy was very humble, you know, but I mean, it still was a level of it's a mixture, you know. And I think we really need to tell people like, man, you could be a little cocky, but don't be overbearing to where you're disrespecting people. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you need to be great. You got to tell yourself every day you're great. You believe in affirmations?
Explain that to me.
Okay, affirmations is like me and my wife. We put stuff on the wall. I am a millionaire. I'm making X amount of money a day, like that kind of stuff. You believe in that?
You know, I don't write my goals.
Okay,
so it's something I definitely need to practice.
Yes, because you know, like you said earlier when we first started, reverse engineering it. Like that's kind of how I see it. I'm like, okay, we got this 1,100 square foot building. I put it. We will have a 10,000 square foot building soon. We'll be making 6 figures a month. We have multiple products. Like I'm speaking these things, so when I life and death and the power of your tongue, as I'm speaking them, they come in to pass.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the mindset. Is just like tell yourself every day what other people won't tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need somebody to tell me I'm successful. I know I'm successful. You know, it's good, it's encouraging, but if you just stay focused and you stay lined in, then you'll be good. So before we close out, I got a game I call it the word game. And I'm gonna say a word, you tell me what you think it means. Denial.
You can't.
My acronym is don't even notice I am lying. People lie to themselves every day about who they are and why they're here. Hustle.
Grind.
I like that. My next word is family.
Everything.
Faith.
Work in progress. We can go into that.
Yeah,
that's a whole other podcast right there.
Fear.
You define that yourself.
I like that because I think that is very, very important that people define their own fears with their own mindset. So this is the point where I flip it around. I flip the questions around. Any questions you want to ask me?
Man, you already hit me with a bunch of stuff, man. I wasn't expecting all this, bro. I appreciate it, Dave. I appreciate it.
Yes. Because I like to leave the floor open before we close out. Pass the mic to I've been asking all the questions, but is there anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, man. So tell me what motivates you.
Man, seeing my mom passed away at 50 from cancer. Growing up in poverty. And it's just I'm trying to be the motivation to other people. So as I get up every day, I feel like I need to put something out in the marketplace. If you follow me, I post a lot of reels. I'll be coming with reels. I'm always trying to put something in the marketplace. I just want to be the voice for the people, man. When I say the voice for the people, I just want to be somebody can see me and say, man, this guy, he got podcasts, he got his clothing line, he got books, he got digital courses. Man, this guy making a difference in the marketplace. And that's what motivates me. I mean, me and my wife, we work together, so we kind of motivate each other, We don't have any kids, but I tell people all the time, I don't need kids to be motivated. We're working on having kids, but I don't need them because at the end of the day, having kids is an amazing thing. But at the end of the day, they can't be they are part of your legacy, but they can't be your everything. Because for instance, I had a friend, his son ended up killing somebody. So is that your legacy? It's not your legacy. It's tough, but it can't be your legacy. See what I'm saying? Like your kids, the Bible says you should guide them in the way they wish they should go. They should never depart from their ways. So you're guiding them. But as they get a certain age, they're gonna make their own decisions. At the end of the day, we're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So,
and it's an ever-changing world. Like for instance, like social media.
Oh man!
Like I'm not a big social media guy, but like I'm trying to stay in tune because that's what they're gonna grow up.
Yes, man. I tell people I'm on all of them. TikTok, all of them. I'm on them all. I need to see what's in the marketplace. So, yeah. Well, what motivates me just being a difference. I mean, just being a difference maker, man. You know what I'm saying? Any other questions?
Man. Shoot. What's next?
What's next is the 10,000 square foot building, 5 podcast rooms. 2 state-of-the-art training facilities where I hold 50 people. Kitchen, 2 areas where I can hold my own seminars, and just pushing, and then launching my content academy. It's $11,000, and it's basically pretty much teaching people. It's a 8-month course teaching people how to build 6 figures a month with their brand. So that's the next move, man. And then to have the #1 content facility in Houston. You come to this place, we're gonna have a photographer room, we're gonna have an all-white room where they can do like because I meet a lot of trainers and stuff. They can do like train like the P90X style.
Okay.
We're gonna have live streaming rooms, podcast rooms, and we have places where they can create content. I've been looking in Houston, they ain't there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be that person, build that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think people need it.
You know, I always gravitate towards things that.
Yes.
So like I like your brain mind, your state of mind as far as like where you see yourself.
Yeah, man, and that's important. Is already see yourself there. Is already seeing yourself cutting the ribbon in the building. Thousands of people coming in, celebrities coming on the podcast, just people trying to get to know the OM2H Creative Studios. That's the name of it. So, and I mean, we want to shake the world up because I want to give the world what I didn't have. I always want, like, how you create content? I have no plan. So if I can, somebody 18, 19, or 40, or 50 that say, hey man, I want to build a brand. I want to write my first book. I got the plan on how to write the book. I want to create my first podcast. We got a mentor and shit right now with a podcast. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the person that helped them push forward and teach it to them on a kindergarten level so they can learn it. That's what it's about, man. Who you pushing forward? You know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't know. I'm just thinking forward though. So listen, man, thank you guys for watching this podcast. We had a great conversation. Remember, listen, go out, design the life you want, create the brand you deserve, but most importantly, leave your legacy. We see you guys in the next video. Peace.